I'm gonna give you guys some frank truth on trading addiction. And I can speak without shame and say, yo, I'm a trading addict. I have had a trading addiction, and I'm gonna talk about that. But it is what it is, and it's really common. So according to the data, maybe 8% of investors, people who ever invest, have some sort of addiction-like symptoms, and maybe 4% are like straight up problem gamblers. Now, if you look, that's all investors. If you look within the investor class and find day traders, most day traders have some sort of addiction or straight up problem gambling, almost by definition, because when you are taking discretionary trades manually, it's doing similar things to the brain as pulling the roulette wheel. And honestly, just looking at the charts does a similar thing to the brain as pulling the slots. But if we look at discretionary day traders, when most of them don't have a quantifiably defined edge, they're just operating off hunches, and they're trading on the short term, trying to make money today, it's giving everything the same as gambling, especially when you consider in 2025, if you're serious about trading, you can develop computer systems and get those systems back tested. And you can also develop algorithms that can trade those computer systems for you. So if you're manually discretionary trading in 2025, in this world of AI that can help you write code and social media where you can partner with people, you're probably have a gambling problem. So I'm going to talk a little bit about myself, and then I'm going to come back and talk about what it is. So I'm going to start with the end though, and that's the couple things that have helped me the most. One is, awareness has been extremely helpful. Another thing, and labeling it, another thing that has been super helpful is getting back to work and making my life really interesting. So having healthier sources of dopamine. And then what's also been really helpful is developing systems like Market Timing Pro, MTP, and getting them automated, such as we have with the crypto bots. So personally, I can go to work and have the crypto bots run and hardly check or touch them. No big deal. But if I have a trade on, it's a whole different story. So let's talk about the last trade that I took. And this is a repeating pattern. And it's really frustrating because I've become excellent at discretionary trading. Ideas, the trades that I put on have insane edge, but I cannot execute them. And I can't execute them because of the dopamine, anxiety, loss avoidance cycles that I'll talk about. But you're seeing this, it's February 2025. You already know what happened, but you guys saw my videos on the Bybit hack where I said it's Friday. If you look at my trade video, I'm like, it's Friday. There's going to be mainstream news on Monday and Tuesday, and even if Bybit survives just fine, the news that exchanges are going to get hacked are going to cause people to want to withdraw their crypto, especially after 2 years of up only when people are in major profit. So this is a great place to short. It's like FTX. It's not going to probably go 30% in 2 days, but if we look at FTX, it could take 3 to 4 days to play out. It started on Friday. Okay, price initially dumped on Friday from 99 to 95. You could probably go short, set your stop at 97.5 or 98. And if we look at the liquidation levels, price is likely to not go lower than 85K in the short term, but can go down there in the near term. So I put on a trade around 95 with a stop loss at 97.5 and target of 90 I think I put it at 87 actually. So if I had just held for 3 days, I would have netted like $7,000 profit. Instead, I took an $800 loss because from where I entered and I added a couple times, it moved against me. Over the weekend, there was one small green day where it bounced, and it came close to my stop around 97 before going straight down. And the problem, though, of why I couldn't execute it, and this is a consistent problem, is the moment I put on the trade, from then on, I was staring at the chart the rest of the day. I was able to take a couple breaks, but I was staring at the chart. It moved against me 6 of 7 straight hours, 7 of 8 straight hours. And I'm talking to ChatGPT and like trying to manage it. And it's telling me like, get out, get out. I'm like trying to, so I closed the trade at midnight so I can sleep. And so it's really, this has been true of discretionary trading. It's sort of frustrating that after 5 years, I have brilliant market timing of, I called the top of Bitcoin. I only called the top once, and it was January 19th, Sunday, Hawaii time, at $108,000. Before it had even failed, I said, this is possibly the high of the cycle. So, but the short, I closed out a retracement. It's all good though. I have a really hard time holding these trades because I end up staring. So, I mean, what it is with ChatGPT, I asked, like, explain the trading addiction of what's going on. Part of it is because it's unpredictable and there's money at the stake and it's rooted in survival, it produces an insane amount of dopamine and anxiety and fear. So over time, as your tolerance increases, your dopamine, it takes more leverage or more risk, or not just more risk to create. For me, it hasn't been to create the same feeling, but you like looking at the chart doesn't do the same thing that it used to do. So it takes more, like looking at the chart more frequently. So it used to be if I'm putting on trades, I would be able to like go do other things. But now, for the most part, if I put on a manual trade, like I'm staring at that motherfucker, and it makes it really hard because once I'm staring at it, then to get some kind of dopamine, the anxiety thing kicks in, where now there's fear and there's anxiety if things move against you, or afraid of retracements. And what often ends up happening is the loss avoidance. I want to close just to avoid the stop loss, or it happens often, so like close. And for me, I would say the addiction has gotten actually probably worse over time. I've gotten better at managing it, so I'm not spending as much time or doing as dumb shit or losing as much money. But what's happened is it's harder. It's even harder to execute trades. Although, like, we could go back and talk about it. Where to me, I look back and it's been an addiction since the beginning. It was like immediate addiction that got worse over time. And I will talk about. I mean, I'm in a much better place now. And again, labeling it, improving my life, creating systems and automating bots have been hugely helpful. I'm in a much better place right now. But I mean, if we go back to a timeline, I started investing in 2020. It immediately began to take over. Initially, I wasn't trading so much, but I was checking the Bitcoin price relentlessly because that was my chosen instrument. But it looked like phone calls to people. What do you think? And I'm reading, every book that I'm reading is related to investing and finance and the history of money. And I was working in marketing at the time, like a couple hours a day for that farm. And it interfered with my work because I would end up looking at, like, reading articles about Bitcoin and learning. So I'm like, it's immediately interfering with my work. It wasn't interfering with my sleep so much. And through all of this, it's hard to say, like, what is business and what is addiction. So I'm like, this is just business, especially in the first year, 2020 to 2021, this is how it went, where, okay, it's interfering with my work a little bit, but it's paying me way more. It's not really interfering with my sleep. It's not interfering with my work too bad. Like, I'm able to do most of the things I need to do, but I'm checking the price all the time. There were periods where it wasn't so bad, but this is where the addiction got worse over time. I think it peaked in 2022, 2023. But I'm checking the chart all the time, right? So I successfully made the trade, and I justified it because I was making so much money. I made, like, at the peak, $400,000 in a year. I'm like, I'm a god, right? I need to focus on this more. It deserves the attention. So what ends up happening is, from there, the market cycle ends, right? The market's coming into a top, and I knew that, and I wasn't sure how to manage it. It was the first regime change I experienced. It was very stressful. I started to close my positions, and there were scams all over the place. Celsius went bankrupt. I had money with them, but I pulled it out. BlockFi went bankrupt. FTX went bankrupt. I pulled everything out, and I started to protect because I had hedged with. I had locked Bitcoin, and I was like, I need to start going short, learning how to trade short. So this is when leverage comes in, and now, like, it's really interfering with my work. At 5 a.m., 5:30 a.m. before work, I'm on my phone, just putting on trades. Some days I'm like lost $2,000 before work has started, or I'm at work and I'm on that phone all the time. Like, I keep going back to my car to look at my phone. People are noticing. It's interfering with my ability to work. And at this point, I've also, like, scaled back my hours, gone to part-time, because I really want to focus on trading. And it's also, now I'm, like, initially putting on huge positions without a solid plan or without a stop loss. I'm trading altcoins with huge leverage. I'm trying to just basically gamble. I mean, I think 2022, I don't know if it's 2022, but 2022 and 2023, I'm trading from my phone while working, and that includes, like, doing mentorship with kids on the farm, or working at, like, there's a school garden I, like, dropped in on and was doing, like, some demos and stuff, and I'm, like, on the fucking phone trading. I was on my phone looking at charts, and I think I was looking at a Shiba Inu short. I think this is 2022. I rear-end a car, so it's like, this is life or death right now. My life's at risk. I'm risking my life. I remember just, like, it's affecting my sleep. I'm in a toxic relationship at this point, and these things are feeding into each other, and I'm blaming one on the other, or, like, they're interfering with each other. At some point I get out of that. Like, I have a female friend visit, and I remember there's days where I lost $4,000 before she even got up. But then, like, we go to dog training. I'm placing trades while on the pitch doing dog training. Make like $5,000 in a day, but it's like I'm like totally unable to be present at this time. I've stopped my business. I've stopped my my magic business. I've stopped my coaching business. I've stopped doing YouTube. It's just trading, and that's not even working. And there's periods where I'm, like, breaking in here and, like, take a month off, and, like, I'm working on a system and developing systems. But it wasn't until year 4, really, year 4 and year 5, that I'm, like, realize everything needs to be computerized and automated, and that's realistic to do so. Especially because ChatGPT wasn't available when I first started, so some of these things seemed out of my ability. Or at least out of, like, I was too short-term to even think, like, okay, I gotta learn how to code to program these things, or figure out how to do that. So, I mean, part of the addiction is just, like, taking over your shit, like, preventing you from doing anything, right? So 2023, this is also when I went to prop firms, which is definitely gambling, because they ended up scamming me for 7-figure funding, which is my fault, because I knew they were crooked to begin with. But I was doing it really to reduce losses, because with prop firms you can, like, gamble more, and it takes longer to blow an account. I would literally say things like, yeah, like, I feel like I'm down to gamble on this when I'm, like, taking a trade. I mean, I went from, in the first year, I'm logging every trade, to now I'm taking so many fucking trades I cannot log it. I'm scalping, or, like, don't know how much I've won or I've lost. I'm just like in a haze of placing trades, and it starts to really disrupt my sleep. I'm like staring at the charts till midnight when I got to get up early, and like nothing's getting done. I'm not building a business. I've dropped my businesses. This is what addiction is when one form of dopamine takes over entirely. I still have some things going on, like I'm surfing a little bit, I'm walking the dog, I'm volunteering on the farm. 2024, I took a couple inter-island trips, traveled with girls. One of them, I went with 3 girls, and I made everybody wait like so I could trade the Forex open every day on a fucking Big Island vacation. You know, we went to a cafe they were down, but it was fucking stupid. And then with one of those girls, I took a trip with just me and her, and we went to Kauai and backpacked the Nepali coast. And during that, I put on a crazy Bitcoin long that made like $12,000, and I was so high off that I like bought the both of us helicopter tickets, and we went, which I could have done anyways. And we went on a helicopter tour, and it just like ingrained the gambling. And I'm like, I remember after that, I'm like getting a tattoo, and I'm putting on a huge position during it, or just like in and out, and I'm like, oh, all I need to do is just hold these positions, and I'm gonna make. I was long 50 Bitcoin at the bottom. I had this short, if I just held, is $14,000, and I just can't hold the positions because of this anxiety loop, where it's like I see these great trades, but I can never hold them. I'm never stopped out. Nothing's ever going to stop. I'm just watching it too closely and choking off the trade. And it wasn't until I put out a video last year. I started making videos last year about trading addiction. And one of my most popular videos is how I beat trading addiction, which I'm still in the process of beating. I've done a pretty good job, but I've realized like relapsing is part of it. And relapsing just looks like putting on discretionary trades and chart watching. I don't always lose money. Sometimes I make money, but it happens less and less, and I'm more and more aware. But yeah, I started to realize that like this isn't the cost of doing business. This is bad for my life, and also is making my life unmanageable. Definitions of addiction, and I want to quit and need to quit. There's also times during this that I'm like putting my computer in a locking device, or putting my phone in a locking device so I can't access it, because I'm just like unmanageable with no self-control, I guess. What else happened? But yeah, it's just I'm in the Discord, on Twitter, scrolling, talking to people, and it's so much stress and anxiety. I mean, you could say I have a phone addiction now, where I'm refresh Instagram and YouTube comments and Discord and WhatsApp, and that might be true, but those things don't cause me extreme distress, and also aren't hugely damaging to my life, right? If I'm addicted to Instagram, well, it gets me girls, it brings me business, it connects me with my friends, even my mom, right? It's pro-social. Whereas the trading, even if the money works, it's antisocial. So even if I'm making money, it's still ruining my life. And I looked at one of the, I paid for a number of trading courses and mentorships, and one of the guys that I signed up with is an absolute trading addict. He looks very successful. Like I think in terms of money, I think he makes a lot of money, but he's woken up by alerts in the middle of the night every night. He's always sick. He's begging Bitcoin to let him sleep, to like take a level so he can place his trade. He's scalping. It's like, do you have enough money, dude? It just looks like an absolutely terrible way to live. So I start to learn about trading addiction and taking these stories of people who succeeded and it ruined their life, and I'm like, man, like, did I really do this? This is really, I start to bring the awareness of my problem of like, this isn't the cost of doing business. This isn't what a trading business should look like either. So I started to visualize what a trading business actually looks like. And it's, you develop, say you to professionalize it, which I've done, okay? You have someone who's, we've got 3 team members right now. My role, the things that I do, I come up with conceptual trading ideas. I produce content. I talk to an audience. I coordinate and create partnerships. I build community. I do sales and clients and talk to clients. We have a second guy who's a dedicated developer. Actually, I have two developers basically. But the devs, they take my ideas or they take their own ideas, they back test them, and we nitpick them a little bit, like what's might be wrong with this idea, do we want to implement it, how do we manage the risks with these things. But the second guy's the one who's doing the technical work, the risk management, but they're not putting on trades. Understand, they're building bots. By the way, stop and look ahead. This is where we are. It's so beautiful. So freaking beautiful. So we have a third guy. The third guy has created, has cleaned up. Initially this was me, but I'm hiring people to like outsource and delegate and replace what I was doing. The third guy is optimizing the funnel, because every trading business, back to me, every trading business needs to raise money. People are like, if you had a profitable trading system, why would you sell it? Why wouldn't you just create a hedge fund? And it's the same thing. Like Wall Street is also doing sales to get customers to give them money to manage it. So it's easier. There's less loopholes. It's less gatekept to sell to retail. But it's the same concept. As part of a trading business is raising capital. Okay, so we got the guy doing Facebook ads. Nowhere in the trading business is someone putting on discretionary manual trades. That just doesn't make sense, right? We want to everything should be controlled. So this is where things are for the most part now. I mean, in the last year since I realized that, and also if things continued, I was going to run out of money. It hasn't happened, and it's also amazing that I've had this problem and gone 5 years and not blown up. Like, I really dragged it out. But I started my hiking tours business. I got my job working for the Dolphin Company. I started my YouTube channels back up. I started raising money for the trading business. I partnered to build the algos and have the algos running. So life is much better now than it was. And again, I'm still having like a little relapse here and there, but the awareness and I mean, anytime I'm able to take off is so productive. Where instead of laboring over a single trade and stressing over it forever, I'm able to create like a bunch of content, like my partners are working. It's just so much more productive. So I just can't manual trade. Now, I have my trend following investment system, and that can be automated. But I think that it's possible I can go back to no leverage investing on the other side of whatever bear market is coming, or the next bear market. I think it's possible. But the bots have been a godsend for me. I haven't fucked them up. The bots haven't always, it's not like every day makes money or even every month makes money, but it's like, all right, I'm growing my capital, or at least like I'm putting trades on and I know it's based on my ideas, and I don't need to worry about this. I don't need to worry about, are the bots going to make emotional trades? They're gonna have losing trades, but I'm making this video totally transparent. Some of y'all are going to clown on me for it, but I think a lot of you are going to realize, if you hold up a mirror to yourself, most of you are suffering from the same problems. Discretionary trading disguised, or gambling disguised as discretionary trading. Again, if you're trading manually, if you're discretionary trading in 2025, I think by definition it's gambling. When we live in a time where it's pretty easy to backtest ideas, and it's pretty easy to automate ideas and have bots trading for you, and that frees up your time to do anything else in life. It could be marketing and raising capital, or it could be just working a job and going about your life. But yeah, I mean, for me, I'm so excited and happy to be reclaiming my time, building businesses again instead of watching them kind of fall apart, getting back to work and hold down jobs again. having not lost everything, still having capital to risk in the markets somehow. And yeah, I mean, part of it is I don't really see myself being able to do it. There's just too much trauma that's accumulated. It's become too stressful for me to put on trades myself. But again, I don't have to. I have bots that can do it. So anyways, I do have links down below for both of my systems. The first one is a long-only trend following system and the best assets. I haven't seen a better trend following system. Ours is better than Richard Dennis's from the 70s as far as I know. I know it's been a long time. And it can be fully automated, although it takes third-party integration to do it. And then also we have the bots, which we're going to open up soon. And I share signals of the MTP trend following system, Market Timing Pro trend following system, and I for free, so you can check those out. And I also you can log in to the bot dashboard for free and go check in the back end. So there's a link down below as well. You can check that out. Yeah, but I mean, if you're, I know a lot of y'all are going through the same thing I am. Some people don't want to admit it, but a lot of people are. So go check it out. Appreciate y'all, and I look forward to talking to y'all soon. Thanks for listening, and I'm okay. I'm good. It's a wild experience, but I'm happy to be alive. I'm happy to be here. So appreciate y'all. Much love. Talk to y'all soon. Peace.